and it would take him like a couple hundred years to actually go broke.
Wow.
But he does plan to give 90% of it away to charity.
If he's listening, old mansions need upkeep, and so donations are absolutely accepted.
But what he's going to want to do, because his house, you walk in and he has a microchip in his hand, and all the paintings switch to the paintings that he wants. The music switches, the temperature, like literally the entire room switches.
Is this real?
Yeah, and then if his wife walks in and if he's not there, all the paintings, it's like LCD TVs or whatever. Yeah. All the paintings switch, the temperature switches, the music switches. Like, yeah, they're like the wind, like the blinds will close if she wants them to when she walks into that room, but they'll open if he wants them to when he walks into that room.
You don't have that in your house?
Actually, I'm starting to. I'm just.
I thought everybody did.
I'm getting only one room right now.
Okay.
You're starting your collection.
Yeah.
It's the bathroom. When I walk in the bathroom, the lights dim.
Okay, I feel like a simpleton asking this question, but does the microchip just read her brain? Does she just like with her brain?
No, she sets it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ahead of time.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an app. And she probably sits in one room, makes it all, and then walks in the other room just to see it happen and be like, that was cool, and then walks out.
Like, I'm the queen of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I just made $48 million in the time I just programmed that app.
And 10 Chinese people just jumped out of our building and killed themselves. But, never mind, let's not do that. That's probably too heavy for this podcast.
Dark,
yeah, a little dark,
yeah.
So what do you guys, like, is there anything you want to do with it? Like, either...
Like bungee jumping.
Just like in general.
No, like off the top of the...
Oh.
Like,
that doesn't seem like it'd be...
I'd love to put a zip line off the top somewhere, but
seriously?
Oh, that'd be cool. That
would
be cool.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm excited now.
I don't think the Historic Society would like that. But
I forgot you guys have to deal with that.
Yeah. Is there like is it like a homeowners association where they're like, you can't paint the door red or something like that?
Kind of the same idea where we can't make changes that are not to the time period. We can't decide to
change the windows.
Like,
but geothermal heating and cooling is cool though. And outlets on the floor are cool.
You cannot put electricity in.
What if you guys like just snuck in a bidet when nobody was looking?
Oh my god, I would come here just to poo. Could you guys give me a poo rate? Because I've always wanted a bidet.
And charge hourly.
Yeah, I mean honestly, it'd probably be too expensive for me because there's a couple times I might need a full day.
Suppose we could put one in a third floor bathroom.
Yeah, I think we could do something like that. I mean,
Would you have to check with it?
How
does that work? Do you have to like write them a letter and like wait for a response?
It hasn't come up yet, but I mean, so I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Anyway, before you cut my question on, is there something like you guys want to do here?
Oh,
like party wise or?
So we're super busy with weddings during summer and fall, but in the winter time, once we slow down again, I would love to do like some murder mystery parties. We talked about a clue party. Like
that's cool. You know, I've done a couple of those.
Oh, have you?
I have.
Oh, well, we should talk.
You want to help us those?
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's something that we just want to do for ourselves, like for fun. I mean, we invite the community in too for those type things, but in the back of our heads, it's what we wanted to do. We just didn't have time this past winter.
This would be a really cool murder mystery. Especially you could do it on more than one floor, and you could move around and mingle and stuff.
Well,
how many floors are there?
There's 3 floors, and then the tower's the 4th.
What's in the tower? I mean, is there anything in there, or you can just go up there and like look around?
You can go up there. I mean, there's a couple of chairs in there you can sit down on. They're not comfortable.
Watch wood flow down the Mississippi River.
That's right.
Yeah. You can see
it's
all
very
the way.
cool. It's
you
very
can see all the way
calming.
to Bettendorf from the tower. Yep.
Cool.
Okay, this is really stupid, but it just popped in my head. You ever been to Vegas?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know the Luxor, the pyramid with the light on the top of it?
Yeah.
Pilots say they can see it from Chicago on a clear night.
Oh wow.
And it costs $100,000 a year just for the lights on that.
Just to have it like lit up.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
gosh.
So that's something we could do that.
Yeah.
Like from the tower.
Hey, Davenport needs something to be famous for other than being the shittiest city in the country. So. Yeah, you can't really say much because you're wearing a shirt that says Davenport, Iowa, worst in town. In America.
In 1903.
It's come a long ways.
Like the equity of the house in 1903, like that's why they moved to California. They're like, can't live in this shithole.
They saw it coming.
The bubble burst when it was named the worst town in America.
Well, I am going to point out 3 years before that, about half the city burned down. So that might have something to do with it, I suppose.
I was unaware.
That's a good point.
What's up with cities in the late 1800s, early 1900s burning down? Because the Chicago
it was hard to put out a fire back then. They didn't have massive trucks with fire hydrants on the ground they could just plug into and spray that. They'd use just a bucket, and everything was made of dried wood.
Yeah, right. And you got cedar shake shingles, and so everything is wood. And I think the houses were closer together. Most of this whole area to the west of us here. This is actually a weird story. This is the Mass Mound, or the Sacred Mound in Davenport, is where the mansion sits. And so historically, all the stories about being protected from tornadoes, which is not true anymore.
Is there a bunch of nuns buried underneath the house?
Well, only one way to find out.
Because isn't that...
Well, yeah, right. You hear mound and you think burial mound. Not like that. Don't think so. It'd be a lot of bodies to make this hill.
Yeah. Not the whole thing.
Just a few.
Jeez. Just a few to make it safe,
Right.
Just 5 or 6 dead nuns.
That's possible. I mean, I'm not discrediting that. I just don't know. But the fire stopped, just on that side of the hill. So in 1900, and then moved away and kind of saved the East Village and all this. So pretty cool story.
That is cool. Is the East Village older than this mansion, or was that?
Definitely parts of it are, yeah. So, I mean, I know even the whole Bridge District over there, going up Bridge Avenue is all older, and so there's a lot of older homes.
Did you guys have you always been interested in the history, or did you guys just start learning about this when you bought the mansion?
We definitely learning Renwick history when we got the mansion.
Yeah.
We're on old house number 3 right now. For us, so we love old houses.
How many mansions do you have?
Renwick is number 4, but our 3 houses, we would buy houses and flip them, and so we're living in house number 3, not mansion, just house, regular old house.
Right. My tiny 10-foot ceilings.
Big advice I need to ask you after the podcast.
I don't know if I've got great advice. We've been living in the house for 10 years, so
it's a slow flip.
So
a flop.
So we're buried on a mound of graves. Is that what you were saying?
No. I think that's not true.
Okay, I thought. Maybe
honestly, I think it is true. This is where they used to bury nuns.
Well, is this place
in their habits
haunted or not? Because I've heard rumors that there's a ghost here.
We have a couple of paranormal groups who have been in
that
here.
said Sarah, they said Sarah on camera, right?
Yeah, so that was our last group, Ghost Crier.
Was it Chris just in the corner? He just
I wonder. He just appeared. He might just pop out at any second. I don't know.
The ghost keeps saying catchanddressasquirrel.com. I don't know why, but
he seems to be promoting something.
I heard him say Dr. Butterscotch, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so that was weird. I don't... Yeah, Sarah's home, is that what it said?
Is that what... Oh, yeah, because... Well, Ghost Crier, they filmed an episode for a TV show here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. And, so they filmed the entry to that TV show here, and then, they'll be
have
here.
Have they been back since, or? And what did they say? Did they find anything then, or?
They don't tell us much about the investigations, but, I mean, he did share that Sarah's home with us, and then Kelly said she's heard some things before, and then a door closed. She's a member of the Ghost Crier.
Oh, okay.
Kelly McCarville. Yeah,
sorry.
She's a psychic medium.
Okay.
I personally...
I like psychic larges. Because you get it? Yeah, I like fit girls, and I like it when they're psychic. Go on.
You want them to read your thoughts?
Oh, I know they can't, so I don't.
Anyway, I am here all the time by myself and at night, and I haven't personally experienced anything. So
what?
Well, no one. You don't know anything about anybody actually dying in here, right?
No.
Yeah.
And it was only a family home until 1900, and then it was just a ministry. Yeah. Not that deaths couldn't happen, of course, but we haven't heard anything.
So there was a comedian here a few months ago named Dave Lasso, right? And he stayed in the mansion. Did he say anything about? Did he talk to you guys about? Because he was I remember talking to him a little bit. He was excited that he was going to meet a ghost or something. And I haven't talked to him since, but I didn't know if he had said anything to you about meeting
No, he might have.
Because I trust whatever Dave says.
It's truth. They walked out here pretty quick in the morning, and maybe they were scared. Maybe they just had to go.
He was pretty high the whole time, though, so maybe passed out and didn't do anything.
Maybe better not trust what.
I feel like mushrooms would be the better thing to communicate with ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever done DMT?
No, I haven't. I heard it's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet. I don't, but you go into a different world, and I don't know if the ghost would be there or not. Like you go into your own mind.
A different world or different dimension? Because I think it would be in a different dimension,
maybe
right?
Both. Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we should do DMT in the Renwick Mansion. Just kidding. We're not going to do drugs in the Renwick Mansion.
Well, you can rent it out and do drugs.
It's a flat rate.
But we should tell them on the podcast that we're going to rent it out to do drugs.
Why? What if they want to come?
What if they're the cops? What if
The cops want to do drugs. That's cool.
But what if they don't want to do drugs and they want to arrest us for doing drugs? You got to think these things through, man.
I don't think they're going to follow that much just to arrest two losers like us.
Speak for yourself. I think they would arrest a loser like me because they have. Yes. We're getting off topic.
A little off.
So we did try a Ouija board here last Halloween. We had a big Halloween party here. And it didn't work.
Who let it? Because that might have had something.
Chris.
We ended up.
Chris should be on the amount of times we mentioned him. He should have been.
CATCH. Let me guess. The rest is dress a squirrel.
What's the thing called that you use?
Planchette.
Yeah, it just kept flipping over. I guess the spirit was trying to come through the board. It was.
And then we played with our feet, and then it didn't work. So it was weird.
Like you use your feet to move it, or
Well, we tried. It didn't work.
Yeah, and nothing really happened.
I always wonder, is that how you get infected with a demon? Because if your hand is on it, you're either going to push it or they need to come through you so that they can.
It's only if you do it alone. If you do the Ouija board alone, you can get possessed.
Oh.
What if you were just really bored with your life and you're like, something's got to change? You're like, let me get this Ouija board out and see what kind of cool shit.
That'd be one way to make changes.
How much does that cost to do at the Renwick Mansion?
play Ouija board.
There used to be this show. Okay, this is one of those stupid asides I'm going to bring in. This guy was from Australia and he kept going around the world. And he was trying to pick a new religion.
Oh, okay.
So he went to like Jamaica and did voodoo, and he went to Utah and did Mormonism, and he basically was like making fun of it all. And then finally he went to, I think it was Catholic, because he wanted to know about exorcism, and he's like, well, I've done a voodoo ritual where he sacrificed a goat and I ate the goat balls and I did this and this. And the guy's like, you're probably full of demons and everything. We'll give you an exorcism. He's like, cool, let's do it. And they do it, and he goes nuts. Like, he's screaming, he's like fighting them and everything. And like, he wouldn't, and he even said later, he's like, I honestly don't know what happened. He's like, I don't remember a second of it. And it was, like, that's the only thing in my head. I'm like, maybe there is a God. Like, well,
he was also on DMT.
Yeah. No, but he was Australian, and they're kind of stupid.
Yeah, they are crazy. But I've never understood, like, there doesn't have to be a God for there to be demons, I don't think.
I think there does.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Yeah. If we don't need if there doesn't need to be a God for there to be humans, there doesn't need to be God for there to be demons. It's just.
I think for there to be a parallel dimension or the alternate dimension where there's ghosts and demons and stuff, that kind of proves God. I think.
Well, does there have to be some good and bad? I mean, I don't see that there has to be.
I mean, where would the demon actually come from? That there's nothing like you would actually be able to prove it because a demon would be easy, you'd be able to videotape it. He'd be like, oh shit, they got me.
So you're a physicist now. You just know.
I don't think physicists have anything to do with demons.
They have stuff to do with other dimensions.
Do they?
How the world works, yeah.
Yeah, and do they have they said there's demons or not?
Yeah, they have. Do your research next time.
I talked to Stephen Hawking once, and
did you?
Actually, I think now that I think about it, I think it was just my brother using that computer voice thing that the word pad you used to type in. Yeah. I just that was him.
So how are the neighbors here?
They've all been super awesome so far. When we first bought it, they, would wander up and introduce themselves. And,
Really?
And it was kind
Did
of...
they bring you, like, food and...
one woman from the senior living next door brought us a painting of the Renwick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a senior living next door?
Yeah, that's St. Catherine's is now senior condos.
No kidding.
So yeah, she sits out there and paints the mansion.